about Geek Fam's Marky. I'm talking about the lineup that Onic has here. I'm pretty sure one aspect that Onic might try to employ is the scramble. They have an amazing scramble. They're quite mobile, and again, I wouldn't put it over them that they try to do what they did in Game 1, where they try to pick fights across a relatively larger space, and then they go for the back door. That might happen again. Wow. Poke on to Sanford, make him go back in his own defense in his turret. A lot of feel of Onic Philippines has right now in the early game, and that is one thing that they're trying to, evade. Yeah, just by, deal with that. Yeah, and just by looking at the items here, we're looking at 3 quantum charges present for Onic. They want to amp up something in the early game. Also, there's 3 tenacities that we see in this composition brought to you by FW Insurance, and this emblem build alone could give it an extra insurance in from the early game even to mid. So if we look onto the balance of Echo right now, we have quantum charge in the spokes. This is the capitalization of the distance they can get. Since there's an Avar, there's an Eve, this is a more AoE type of thing that they can actually utilize early game. Oh man, top lane is looking quite perilous for Onic because they're down on XP, down on gold, and the turtle fight has already started. Gem's not going to be able to do much. Carl Tizzy secures the turtle. And up top, oh, here comes the save. And they are going to take down Benny Cutie. I spoke too soon.
First blood there. And that went in the hands of Super Prince, right? This is the thing that you notice, and OSX commented on this earlier. The ultra-fast method, the quantum charges, there's 3 of them, right? They get that little extra speed boost, they're able to play around that, not to mention having the Nether Realm, giving them that a little bit of safety net to fight under that turret if they want to, right? And that's what secured them that whole pretty much interaction in the top lane, eventually getting that first blood.
Yeah, I remember back in Season 10, the safety net. It also originated from Onic Philippines, how they changed their roster with a new era version of themselves. And yeah, you guys point out perfectly, because with Super Prince and Yoshino alone, having or being at level 5 right now, they could actually drain out of resources of Echo that they're trying to maintain. Oh, they tried to find the angle, but JP knew better. Saw Yoshino coming in from a mile away. Down bottom. I like how their duos, top and bottom, are at almost deadlock. The only real difference is when someone commits and when someone has a better call. And right now, Carl Tizzy going to try to change the equation here. But so will Super Prince. This is a 3v3, folks. Just waiting to happen.
A lot of focus here on this gold lane matchup. Super Prince should be able to get away for the most part. There's the Nether Realm already coming out.
And there's a kick! And the RWM! Ryzen just waiting. Nets catches quite a bit of magic damage here. Put down to 1/10 of his health. And just like that, Echo wins. Technical knockout. TKO. Echo sees distance. Okay, that's a kick. And a follow-up as well. And going back to the action. Oh, meanwhile, up top, let's hold it a bit. Oh, he commits the ult just to clear the way. Yeah, speaking of being in the objectives and wave clearing, also the XP is doing a lot of work. Looking at Gem there, he's just cutting so much in this first 5 minutes in down bottom.
So again, we find ourselves here at the second turtle. Carl Tizzy at the previous one actually poked down Ryzen so much it forced him to use the Retribution. He freely got the turtle. Looks like he might get this one as well, right? Ryzen has kind of decided, you know what, I'm just going to focus on these rotations, get these buffs that I need, hopefully scale up, and then maybe I find a pick-off that I need later on, because right now, especially against an Akai, it's a little bit hard to really contest some of these angles, some of these situations they're going for.
And this is throwing back to his days with Omega. So many times we've seen Ryzen just struggling and still somehow finding a way to win. So it's no secret. Mitsumaki is used to just working with the crumbs and making something happen. Quick push up top by Benny Cutie. Almost 1,500 gold ahead. 5 minutes in. And Gem is trying to make something happen down bottom. Look how deep Carl is. Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, he's willing to risk it. I think he got also the crab as well.
Oh, I thought he got the buff.
Got the purple skin. Yeah, that was just completely a close way to have a contention with. Meanwhile, Gem is doing a lot of great job there. Down bottom, just clearly cutting out the waves. This is one that they're trying to capitalize on. The macro scale and their macro approach up against Echo, which is also a master on how to actually divert attention of the people there. But looking at the Hasclaws build up here for Benekiri, we're seeing still the standard build for this hero. He wants to get those damage, but he wants that passive amplified. But for carry, the answer would Swift. Oh, wait, Swift. It got the sword? Grab the purple! Ryzen! Oh my goodness. He
finds
just did
things where he
that.
can, man. That's what he does.
This is the crumbs you're talking about, Leo.
Man, that's a juicy crumb.
Yeah.
That's a A1 Wagyu crumb right there. I think Carl Teasy wants to contest that. You can see him getting in position there. He still wants the purple.
Carl Teasy.
Oh, did he grab that?
He did. He did.
Oh, but he gets pulled in. Now 4 members
no.
of Onic might collapse on him. Forces a defensive heavy spin. On bottom, Benny Cutie trying to steal this orange away. This is just chaos, just mayhem across the map. Yeah, there's a lot of just focusing on these resources. Oh, they're not done. Yoshino put down a third of his health. RWM coming in from Sanji. Benny Cutie very low. JP with the astral echoes. Yoshino falls first. Traded out for Benny Cutie. And that's a 1-for-1. Onic happy with a trade. Walking away. Echo might not be done just yet. Gem still had the consecration. Survives.
The movement speed of Onic Philippines caught Benny Cutie off guard. He was in front of enemy lines. How did he even manage to even escape that? Although he has a way of escaping maybe a pull from Sanford's probably ultimate combo, but that was too much for him to even have a damage. He just got his boots as of this point, so he wanted to have more of the movement speed, but it was too late for him. So that Onic, from the time that Onic actually had a way to seize that window, they take it. So even though they were going on with the kills, they have 2 kills on Medicutie. Echo is with the 2K gold lead, so they're not losing with the objective fights, and they're just seeing more ways to push this.
The hard part about this too, and what you're seeing kind of unfold here, is Onic Philippines is having a difficult time dealing with this front kind of blockade, that Echo has, and that's just with Sanford and the Akai, or Sanford and Carl Teasy alone, right? Having this Terizla, having this Akai, you have to get through that, and if you find an initiation, really, which is on the whims of your Yoshino, he has to be able to find the kick they're looking for. So that gets increasingly harder until Nets is online, just picking up the golden staff here. That will allow him to get to where he needs. So he's got the corrosive scythe, he's got the golden staff. Hopefully he can start to shred through some of this blockage. Yeah, which is short to say that Onic is playing reactive when they shouldn't be, when they don't want to be.
Yeah.
And you can see in these little micro moments across the map, where you see these little scrambles, right? You see these little mini team fights, as we'd like to call them. And that's where that frustration is coming from. But hey, look, some progress up top. Nets finally got a push. That's going to be the first turn for Onic.
This could be another plan of Onic. Just hold that thought.
In, and there's a kick. Astral Echo ain't going to do nothing to save the storm. Down he goes. Super Prince takes him. But here comes the cavalry. Carl Teasy, Sanford, and Daddy JP. Oh, they're picking their fights here. They don't want to force nothing. But this is a big wave. RWM coming in from Sanji. They want to take it down. Yoshino with the knock-up. Oh, the waves have been cleared by Ryzen, and he's going to be able to dash on out of there. Tier 1 in mid still stands.
Man, that third time they took down Benny Cutie. Onic Philippines is a good way to sense and even sniff where is Bruno coming from.
Yeah.
Completely having an advantage. Oh, look at that. Showdown.
Yeah, we went from movies to musicals, man. We're going everywhere.
Yeah. Man, that is a good way to point it out, Mr. JC. Carl Teasy just pick up the Twilight armor. So he's going on with the defense here with his Akai build. And to see more of the equipment he's trying to build, he would likely more to sustain or outplay the damage of Ryzen right now being the Lancelot. So he needs more utilities, he needs more defense to actually have a contest with the objectives they need if Echo wants to have a push against the base of Onic Philippines.
Okay, so Lord is up here. It's going to be juggled around. Carl Teasy planning himself there, right? Ryzen can't really plan himself anywhere. He's got to kind of wait here. And you can see them trying to put the pressure on him if they can, holding the Lord there, switching between the Sanford and Carl Teasy to keep the Lord dance going. Sanji is also going to be crucial here, where he decides to set up the real-world manipulation. Yoshino has to find a way of the dragon on someone. He has to put this situation here in their hands for Onic Philippines to turn it around. They're not working through a big gold gap either. It's only 1,000. They should be able to compete here as it builds up. Gem also a center part. Finally, the RWM comes out, and the knockup from the Lord down to a fifth of his health, forcing up the early nether realm, and Carl Teasy tries to secure it. Scores! That's the first Lord going over to the Orcas. Ryzen force use the Phantom Execution defensively, and here comes Carl Teasy. Heavy spin right out through the middle of tier 1 and 2. Ryzen trying to finish the job, not going to be able to do it. Force back. Echo are on the offensive. Balls in Gem's face, getting kicked out. Echo so dominant. Almost more than 3K ahead. They're going to take down tier 2 as well. Echo with a decisive push.
Well, a decisive attack indeed for Echo with that take. By that objective, we were waiting for the right setup to happen, and that was clearly Sanji and Sanford making their ultimates work, and they even got 3 from Onic Philippines, and that was the setup that we were trying to see on how Yoshino would actually have an advantage on the back line of Echo. With that point, they knew how to answer the stronghold that they were trying to build on the team fights of Onic Philippines. Even there's a lot of poke and burst from their own top position, by that way, they had this agreement to actually have the focus on the objectives rather than getting the kills from now on. And the lead is slowly building up 4.3k, and there's a push down bottom.
They're going to make quick work of that Lord, as you see there, and that's fine, right? But what's happening is Echo will continue to get the space to work with, but clear-wise, wow, okay. Super Prince there, utilizing that Nether Realm a little early. Oh, okay, interesting. Now they're going to have to deal with this assault on the base without it.
Oh, RWM by Sanji, plus the Astral Echoes spells disaster for this tier 3 turret down bottom. Not much Onic could have said there.
With this lead alone, Echo, this is their needed items. Although, Mplph got taken down 3 times, and to look back on his items, he has now the Wind Talker, has now the Wind of Nature. If you get caught in the crossfire, get hold down, something got pulled down.
Here we go! Yoshino gets trapped between a rock and a hard place, and all 5 members of Echo gets picked off with Carl TZ's call, and now it's a 4v5. I think Echo wants more than just inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, you want more than gold. You want more than a kill. You want more with the push. With the items now being shown on our screens here, we're looking at also the defensive investment that Carl TZ made. Almost half HP though.
Sanford! They know that there's no Nether Realm! Penalty zone from Sanford underneath the turret, and he took 1 too many. And RWM trying to keep Super Prince down, and his Nether Realm gets popped!
Wow.
Dodging that Astral Meteor! And here comes Yoshino with a kick! Down goes Sanji! Only 3v none! JP goes, Ryzen gets 2k, and they're not done! Here comes Yoshino with a knock-up, taking up Carl TZ on that! Benny Cutie getting taken down here, 1 kick, 1 ball to the face, 2k for Benny! Benny! The heavy spin pushing them back, but Benny wants more!
Wow, a trade of 2 to 3, and Echo just completely wanted to have an advantage for a counter, and the clap at Onic.
What kind of blitz this? Is there enough firepower?
They have the advantage though. Echo can actually push for this.
Oh, they look like they're baiting for
They
it.
want this. They want to contest this here. They're going to get in position. Carl TZ waiting for the rest of the team to make it here to secure this, to ensure it.
Sanford very low. Penalty zone coming in. Nets gets the kill. Benny Cutie very low as well. Gets taken down. Prince takes down the storm.
Lord reset.
It out though. Runner's gotten reset. Nets goes. Kaltizi gets the play. And down goes Ryzen. 2 for 2. Bodies everywhere. But the turret up top still stands. Gem. Oh, playing the bodyguard to one of the last few objectives Onic has left.
Wow, a lot of things just actually happened. Few seconds ago, we were looking for Onic Philippines to Echo to make and start the team fight. By just having the right amount of burst and hold from Ryzen and Nets, Echo was just having a checklist on who to take down and who to took against Onic Philippines. But now Echo just clearly having a great view on his objective. It's still going. Super Prince and Yoshino just...
It's not gonna happen, man. Not like this. Kaltizi goes in with a heavy spin. They're gonna pop Super Prince here like a zit. And just like that, they're a man down. Luckily. I mean, good news, bad news. Prince still died, but he has the passive on the Faramis. And can Ryzen secure his own purple? Yeah, he did. He got the wretch. Yeah,
Secured.
He'll be back up here by the time they have to defend against this Lord push. And as we kind of catch our breaths at that whole exchange, is there, again, item-wise, is there anything that stands out here, OSX, for them to have a successful defense?
Yeah, speaking of defense and burst, Sanji right now is on a roll with his item. And to pin down on what's happening on this game, they're going for a push. I need to hold my thoughts. Gem, though, is going to be in trouble.
He's still holding on to his Purify. Just pop the consecration right there. RWM from Sanji. Gonna go ahead and be the last nail in the coffin for that tier 3 turret in mid. Jet very low, so close to going. Benny Cutie does not finish the job quite yet. Carl Easy takes a hit.